Hi there, I'm speaking Thaqib Latif. Welcome to my channel mathssl. From here, I'm going to show you arithmetic series. A series is created by adding the terms of a sequence. So, for instance, we have 2, 6, 10, so on till 62. This is arithmetic sequence, and 2 plus 6 by adding the sequence plus 10 plus so on plus 62. Now this is sequence, this is series. So this is arithmetic series. Now the sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic series, we're gonna use this formula. Sn is equal to n over 2 big bracket 2a plus parentheses n minus 1 d close big bracket. Now I'm going to show you how to prove this formula. So this is a formula. This is the sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic series formula. Now Sn is stand for the sum of the first n term, and n stand for the number of terms, and a stand for the first term, and d stand for the common difference, constant difference. Right, we need to prove this formula. Now how to prove this formula, I'm going to show you now. So the Sn is equal to a is for the first term plus, and the second term gonna be a plus d, and the third term gonna be a plus 2d plus so on till the tn, and the tn is stand for a plus n minus 1d. Remember this formula, nth term formula. Now I'm gonna show you how to prove this. And then we got this formula, second one, Sn is equal to n over 2 big bracket a plus l close bracket. L stands for the last term. When you know the first term and the last term, then you're gonna use this formula. A is for the first term and L stands for the last term. Then you can use this formula. But if you don't want to use this formula, you can use the first formula. Even you know the first and the last term is optional, but this is a shortcut. If you know the last term, then you can use this formula. I'll show you how to use these formulas in the questions, but first I want to show you the proof of the sum of the first n term of an arithmetic series formula. Must remember Sn stand for term 1 plus term 2 plus term 3 plus so on plus term n. So all the term till the nth term. So Sn stand for that. Sum of first n terms of a series. Must remember this formula you're going to use when you know the first term. A is the first term and the common difference d. And the number of terms n. So this formula you're going to use when you know the first term, common difference, and the number of terms. So I'm going to start the proof. Sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic series formula, Sn formula. So Sn is equal to a plus d plus a plus 2d plus so on plus tn. So The sum of an arithmetic series Sn can be written as the sum of its terms from the first term a to the nth term Tn, where each term increases by a common difference t. Now we're going to write the series in reverse order. The series can also be written in reverse order from the last term Tn down to the first term a, where each term decreases by the common difference t. Now this time going to decrease. So the Sn is going to be equal to Tn plus Tn minus d plus Tn minus 2d plus so on plus a. So the step 1, each term increases by a common difference d. Step 2, reverse order, each term decreases by the common difference d. Add the two equations. So the answer is going to be 2Sn is equal to a plus Tn, a plus Tn, a plus Tn, plus this t and this t gonna cancel, positive and negative, only left with a plus Tn. Again here, this 2t and negative positive cancel, only left with plus a plus Tn, plus so on, only last you can see you add both, a plus Tn. Adding the two expressions by Sn term by term result in n pairs, each of which sums to a plus Tn. Therefore 2Sn is equal to n parentheses a plus Tn. Adding the two expressions for Sn term by term result in n pairs, each of which sums to a plus Tn. Now we're gonna solve for Sn. Now solve for Sn, dividing 2 by both sides. So it's gonna be Sn is equal to n over 2 a plus Tn. So we get rid of we isolate the Sn. So we're gonna substitute the formula for the nth term. Sn is equal to n over 2 big bracket a plus, now we're gonna substitute the formula, this formula Tn, a plus n minus 1 parentheses d close big bracket. Now we're gonna simplify. So the final formula will be n over 2 big bracket 2a, you add, we got 2a plus parentheses n minus 1 d close big bracket. They we proved. So the final formula for the sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic series is Sn is equal to n over 2 big bracket 2a plus parentheses n minus 1 d close big bracket. We proved. Now I'm going to start the question. This is the question number 1. I'm going to start from here. Calculate the sum of the arithmetic series 3 plus 7 plus 11 so on to 30 terms. Now we need to calculate the sum of the arithmetic series. So we need to identify the given values. The first term we got 3 and the common difference, we need to find common difference. 7 minus 3, that's gonna be a 4. The number of terms is n is equal to 30. So use the sum of a formula for an arithmetic series, and the formula says Sn is equal to n over 2 big bracket 2a plus parentheses n minus 1 d close bracket. Now substitute the values into the formula. So S30 is equal to 30 divided by 2, and a we got 3, 2 multiply 3 plus n we got 30 minus 1, the d we got 4 close bracket. Now I'm going to calculate the sum. You can use the calculator one time. The answer will be 1830. So the sum of the arithmetic series is 1830. Question number 2 now. Consider the arithmetic series. This is the arithmetic series. Determine the number of terms in this series. Second question, calculate the sum of the series. Now, I'm going to show you how to solve this question. Must remember, this is the first type, this is the second type how they ask the question. And also sometimes they won't ask you to find the nth term. They will ask you directly to find the to calculate the sum of the series. Of course, you have to first solve the part A. You have to find the number of the term to use the using the nth term formula. But in this case, he asks you first this, and then part B he asks you the sum of the series. So this is the second way they can ask question. I'm going to show you how to solve. So we need to determine the number of terms in this series. So we're going to use the formula for the nth term to find n. So the first term we got here, a, which is the first term, that we have -1, and the d term 2 minus term 1, that will be -3 over 2 minus -1, minus from the formula and the -1. The answer will be -1 over 2. I use my calculator. Now the last term we have here, which is Tn, that's the last term, that we got -16. Now we're going to use the nth term formula to find the n. This formula, Tn is equal to a plus parentheses and minus 1 d. Now we're going to substitute all the value and then we'll solve for n. -16 is equal to, first term we got -1 plus parentheses d, we got -1 over 2. Now -1 I pull over this side, become positive, so it's going to be -15 is equal to n minus 1 multiply -1 over 2. Now my subject of the formula is n, so the -1 over 2 I pull over this side, become 2 over 1, -2 over 1, negative is positive, so it's going to be a 30 now, n minus 1. Therefore n is going to be -1, I pull over this side, become positive, 31. So n is 31. So the part A is solved. Even he don't ask you to solve the part A, if he asks you only to directly calculate the sum of the series, then you have to first find the n, because n is missing. Don't forget difference between these two questions. They give you how many terms. They will give you, they already provide for you the n. But here's no n. So that's why we have to find the n, and the last term is a Tn. So we find the n first. Now we got all we got a, we got d, we got n. Now we can calculate the sum of the series. We can use the Sn formula. Remembered earlier I showed you that you can, when you got the first and the last term, you can use the shortcut formula also, or you can use Sn formula. The answer will be the same, but that is a shortcut because we do have the last term here. In this question we didn't have the last term, so I can use this formula also. Sn n over 2 big bracket a plus last term L, because we do have the last term, and then n is 31 because total number is, because we need to find the S31 now, na? Don't forget total term is 31 over 2, and the first term we got -1, and the last term we got -16, close bracket, and that will give me 31 over 2 multiply -17, and I'm using my calculator. The answer will be -263,5. Now this is the shortcut formula if you got the first and the last term. But if you want to use the normal formula, sum of the first n term formula, you can use also that. Let me show you also that way how to solve this one. So this is my final answer. Let me show you that way. So if you don't want to use the first and the last term formula, you can use the sum of the first n term formula. So the Sn is going to be equal to n over 2 big bracket 2a plus parentheses n minus 1 d big bracket close. So S31 we're looking, because total terms are 31 over 2, and 2a we got first term -1 plus total term we have 31 minus 1, and the d we got, so d we got -1 over 2. Now I'm going to simplify using my calculator. 31 over 2, this become -2 plus 30 multiply -1 over 2. 31 over 2 big bracket -2 plus 30 multiply -1 over 2. I'm going to simplify one time with the calculator. So answer is -263,5. You can see the same answer. You can use the first n term formula, or you can use the first and the last term formula. But if they give you the last term, then you can use the first and the last term formula as well, or you can stick to the standard formula. This one answer will be the same. Question number 3. From here problematic question start. He say how many terms of the arithmetic series, this is the arithmetic series, will add up to 1700. So which means he give you the Sn already, which is 1700. This is the sum of the first n term formula. He already give you the sum. So we need to find the how many terms, which means we need to find the n. So obviously we're gonna solve for the Sn formula, sum formula. So we need the identify the variables. So we got first term we got 8. So the a is 8 first term, and then we have d. We need to find the d. Term 2 minus term 1, 13 minus 8, that's gonna be a 5. And the n we're looking, we don't know the n. Sn we got 1700, and n we're looking, we need to find the n. So we're gonna use the sum formula, which is Sn is equal to n over 2 bracket 2a plus parentheses n minus 1 d big bracket close. This formula I'm gonna use. So I'm going to substitute all the value into the formula. 1700 Sn we have, and the n we don't know, n over 2 big bracket 2 first term we got 8 plus n minus 1 parentheses, and the d we got 5 big bracket close. Now we're gonna solve the equation for n. 1700 is equal to n over 2. This becomes 16. I'm going to simplify, and 5 times n is 5n minus 5 close bracket. Now further simplify 1700 n over 2 big bracket, this become, now I'm gonna get rid of the fraction, so this become 3400 and multiply by 2. This get 2 and 2 cancel, only left n, and 5n plus 11. Now I'm gonna multiply the n inside, it become 5n square plus 11n. 5n square plus 11n equal to 3400. Now I'm gonna all the term move to one side. 5n square plus 11n and negative 3400, positive become negative, equal to 0. Now I'm gonna use the quadratic formula solve for n. Remember the quadratic formula, n is equal to, we solving for n, so negative b plus minus b square minus 4ac over 2a. So we're going to apply this formula, and the a we got 5 here, a we got 5, and the b we got 11, and c we have negative 3400. When I'm substituting into this formula, n is equal to negative 11, positive and negative, 11 square minus 4ac, 4 multiply 5 multiply negative 3400 square root over 2a, which over 2a, we got 5. Now I'm gonna use the calculator to solve this one. So the n is equal to, I'm gonna put over this side negative 11, positive and negative. I use the calculator, that give me 261 over 10. So one time gonna be add, one time gonna be subtract. So the two possible solutions for n. So the first gonna be n1. I use my calculator. Negative 11 plus 261 divided by 10. The answer will be equal to 25. Now I'm gonna solve for n2. So the n2 gonna be negative 11 negative 261 divided by 10. So the answer will be negative 27,2. So we got two possible solutions for n, 25 and 27,2. Since the number of terms must be a positive integer, the only valid solution will be n is equal to 25. My answer will be n is equal to 25. This is my final answer. Must remember these four questions is very important. They are essence of the chapter about arithmetic series. Now you see the first, this question they can ask, they will give you the number of terms, and here no number of term, only the last term they will give you. And this question he asks you how many terms, so he give you already Sn is equal to 1700. And this question number 4, they ask you now here, question number 4, he said consider the arithmetic series, calculate the smallest value of n for which Sn greater than 300. Second question, he said determine the greatest number of terms that can be added together if the answer must be less than 100. So you see there's a word he using less than. So the first one is Sn greater than 300. Second gonna be Sn less than 100. Now I want to show you these two also. They ask a lot of times this question, greater than and the less than inequality sign. I'll show you how to solve this one. A very important point you need to know, when they ask you the sum of a series will be greater than a given number, take a note, this is very important point. When they ask you the sum of a series will be greater than a given value or will be less than a given value, equate Sn to the given value and solve for n. Then at the last, Round the answer according to the requirements of the question. Very important. So we got the first term -4, A we got -4, and D we need to find out -1 minus -4. So the answer will be term 2 minus term 1. Answer will be 3. Now you need to set up the inequality. So the Sn formula we're going to use n over 2, 2a plus parentheses n minus 1, d big bracket close. I'm going to substitute all these values into this formula. So remember, he says Sn must be greater than 300. So n over 2, we don't know n. Sn we're going to substitute all the value into the formula, big bracket. So the first term is 2 multiply first term is -4 plus n we don't know, parentheses n minus 1, d we got 3 big bracket greater than 300. So Sn we put greater than 300. Now we're gonna solve here, same like equal sign, but just a greater sign here. So it's gonna be n over 2 big bracket, this become -8 plus 3n minus 3. I simplify, greater than 300. Further simplify, n over 2, 3n minus 11 greater than 300. Now I'm going to multiply by 2 to get rid of the fraction. So the multiply by 2, this 2 and 2 cancel, only n left. So I substitute into the quadratic formula to solve for n here and all of these value. Now 3n square minus 11n minus 600 greater than 0. This is a quadratic equation. Now, so I use my calculator. My answer is negative become positive, 11 positive and negative, 85,56 over 6. Now two roots we have. One time we're gonna add, one time we're gonna minus, and then we will find the two answers. So n1 first answer gonna be 11 minus 85,56 over 6. The answer is -12,42, and n2 will be 11 plus 85,56 over 6. One time minus, one time add. That will be 16,09. Since n must be a positive integer number of terms, we consider n is equal to 16,09. The inequality is 3n square minus 11n minus 600 greater than 0 holds for n greater than 16,09. So the n must be greater than 16,09. So n greater than 16,09 and greater than 16,09, nearest whole number is 17. So the n is going to be equal to 17. So therefore, my final answer is 17. Therefore, the smallest integer value of n for which Sn greater than 300 is 17. So now the question number 4, B part, determine the greatest number of terms that can be added together if the answer must be less than 100. Now this is the same series. Now we need to find the B part. Greatest number of terms for sum less than 100. Set up the inequality. So this time gonna be Sn less than 100. So now the formula Sn less than 100. So what we use for the part A, In part A, we already found Sn. Sn is equal to, remember, there was n over 2, big bracket 3n minus 11. We already found earlier. So we're going to set up this one for now less than 100. So must remember Sn less than 100. So Sn we got now n over 2, big bracket 3n minus 11 less than 100. Now we're gonna divide, we're gonna multiply with 2 whole expression. So this is only we're left with n, 3n minus 11, and this become 200. Multiply 2. So now this n gonna multiply inside, this become 3n square minus 11n, and that 200 pull over this side become negative 200 less than 0. Now we're gonna solve for the quadratic equation. To find the critical values, solve the corresponding quadratic equation. So now, which means 3n square minus 11n minus 200 equal to 0. So I'm going to solve for n here now. But remember, we need to prove less than. Now, so the n is equal to, this become negative 11, negative become positive 11, positive and negative, square root negative 11 square minus 4ac. So I substitute into the quadratic formula. Gonna be is equal to 11 positive and negative 2521 square root over 6. I open up the square root. The answer gonna be n is equal to 11 plus and minus 50.21 over 6. Now we need to find the two solutions. So the two solutions are, the first one, n1 is equal to, so the 11 plus, first I'm going to use the positive sign, 50.21 divided by 6. So my answer is 10.2. N2, 11 minus 50.21 divided by 6. So my answer is negative 6.5. So the two solutions are n1 and n2. Now we need to determine the greatest integer. Just remember, Sn less than 100. So the n must be a positive integer, mustn't be negative. So we're not going to use this one. This is non-applicable. So we're only going to use this one. Now, so we're going to round up this one. This is 10.2 we have now. So we got n1 is 10.2. So the less than 10.2 only 10. So the less than 10.2 is 10. So therefore the n must be equal to 10. That's my final answer. So he say determine the greatest number, and there must be less than Sn 100. This one, Sn less than 100. So therefore Sn less than 100 is 10. So this is my final answer. So now these are the exam type question I want to show you, and in fact the question number 8 in September 2024 they posed this question. What a nice question. I will show you at the last. Now the question number 5. He said consider the arithmetic series. This is the series. The first we need to solve, calculate S12. Identify the parameters of the series. So we must remember here the first term, a is the first term, which we got 3 over 2. So a we got 3 over 2, and d term 2 minus term 1. So term 2 is 2 minus 3 over 2. The answer is going to be equal to 1 over 2. Now must remember he say determine the S12. So which mean he looking the first 12 terms. So which mean we do have the n. So we can use the sum of the first n terms for arithmetic series formula, which is Sn is equal to n over 2 big bracket 2a plus parentheses n minus 1 d big bracket close. So we're going to use this formula. So the n is, which means the n is equal to 12. So we're going to find the S12. 12 over 2 big bracket 2, first term is 3 over 2. I'm going to substitute all of these values, plus 12 minus 1 d, we got 1 over 2 big bracket close. Must remember here is no last term. They didn't give you the last term, but they say S12, so which means n is equal to 12. So I'm going to use the calculator one time, that my final answer will be 51. So the second question, he said calculate the value of k if sk is equal to 231. Now set up the equation for sk. So we're going to use the formula Sn formula. So must remember this time we got a 3 over 2, and we got d already 1 over 2, and sk is equal to 231. So which mean Sn, they already give you the sum of the formula. So the answer is 231 is equal to k, we don't know place of n, using the k now, k over 2 big bracket 2 multiply 3 over 2, using the Sn formula, plus parentheses k minus 1, and the d we got 1 over 2 big bracket close. Now 231 is equal to k over 2, and I'm going to use my calculator. My answer is 3 plus k minus 1 over 2 big bracket close. Now we're going to solve the equation for k. Multiply both sides by 2 to clear the fraction. So this is going to be now 462, and only going to left k, and multiply 3 plus k minus 1 over 2 big bracket close. Now we're going to multiply k inside, so become 3k plus, now we're going to k gonna multiply with k multiply k minus 1 over 2. So multiply 2 again to clear the remaining fraction. So 462, you multiply 2, it become 924, and this become 6k, and this become only k multiply k negative 1. You can multiply k inside, k square minus k. So the k square is become plus 5k, and I pull over this side, become negative 924 is equal to 0. Now we're gonna factor the quadratic equation. So you can use the quadratic formula to factorize. Find two numbers that multiply to negative 924 and add up to 5. These numbers are, we can use the calculator, 33 and negative 28. Two numbers we have. So therefore k plus 33 and the k negative 28. These are the two factors equal to 0. So solve for k here. K is equal to negative 33 or k is equal to positive 28. So these are the possible solutions for k. Since k represents the number of terms, it must be a positive integer. So we can't use the negative one. So my final answer is k is equal to 28. Therefore, the k is equal to 28. Now the third part, he said calculate the greatest number of terms that can be added if the answer must be less than 300. Don't worry about the greatest or less. We have to look here. Less than 300. So which means Sn must be less than 300. Set up the inequality for Sn. We need to find the greatest integers in n such that Sn less than 300 using the formula for Sn. So must remember we got here A we got 3 over 2, the first term, and the D we got 2 minus 3 over 2, second term minus the first term, that will be 1 over 2. Now we can use the Sn formula to solve this question. So the formula says Sn is equal to n over 2 because we don't know the n, and big bracket 2a we got 3 over 2 plus parentheses n minus 1, and the d we got 1 over 2, big bracket close. Now I'm going to solve here. So this is going to be n over 2, and this become 2 and 2 cancel, 3 plus n minus 1 over 2. We multiply inside. So now we going to take LCD, n over 2, and this is LCD. This is going to be 2 and become 6 because under is 1 here. 2 times 2 divided by 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6 plus n minus 1. Big bracket close. So I'm going to further simplify. So the n over 2, and I simplify here, become n plus 5 over 2, close bracket. Now multiply numerator with the numerator and denominator with the denominator. So the n multiply n is going to be a n square plus 5n over 4. 2 times 2 is 4 denominators. So this we got Sn now. You can write from the beginning less than, or you can write from here, same thing. So the inequalities must be n square plus 5n over 4 less than 300. You can write this less than 300 from the beginning, or you can write after you solve the Sn. You simplify the Sn, then you can equate with less than 300. Now solve the inequality for n. Multiply by 4, so it's going to be n square plus 5n less than, multiply 4, this become 1200. Now I'm going to pull n square plus 5n, this become, I pull over this side, become 1200 less than 0. Now I'm going to solve for n using the quadratic formula. So it's going to be n is equal to negative 5 positive and negative 5 square minus 4 AC, 4 multiply 1 minus 1200 AC over 2a, 2 multiply 1. So I'm going to use the calculator one time to solve here. So the answer going to be, I'm going to pull out this question this side. So the answer, therefore answer going to be n is equal to negative 5 positive and negative 5 positive and negative 69,46 over 2. So the answer gonna be N1 gonna be 32,23. Now the N2, this time I'm gonna use the negative 37,23. So the one time positive, one time negative. So the n must be positive root. So I'm gonna use this one 32,23. So 32,23. So we're looking less than 32,23. Only gonna be a less than this is only 32 whole number. So that's why, therefore, the n is gonna be equal to 32. This is my final answer. Question 6. The sum of the first three terms of an arithmetic series is 24 and the sum of the next three terms is -12. Calculate the sum of the first 20 terms of this series. What a nice question. Set up the equation for the given information. So we have two equations. The sum of the first three terms is 24. So I'm going to use the sum of the first n term formula. So it's going to be a S3 is equal to 3 over 2 big bracket 2a plus parentheses 3 minus 1d big bracket close, and this is equal to 24. Further simplify 3 over 2 big bracket 2a plus 2d big bracket close. Now I'm gonna multiply by 2 to clear the fraction. So this becomes 48 is equal to 3 2a plus 2d. 48 is equal to 3 multiply inside becomes 6a plus 6d. Divide by 6 gives me 8 is equal to a plus d. This is my equation number 1. Now he said that sum of the next three terms is -12. So which means the sum of the first 6 term is, so the x6 gonna be equal to s3 plus this -12. So that give me s3, we already got 24 and minus 12. The answer will be positive 12. Now I can find the s6. So the s6 gonna be equal to now 6 over 2 big bracket 2a plus 6 minus 1d big bracket close. So the s6 is equal to 12 now, must remember. 3 I multiply inside becomes 6a plus 15d. So this become my equation number 2. Now I'm going to solve the system of the linear equations. Even I can further simplify this one if I want to. Even I leave like this, not a problem, same answer gonna be. So from equation number 1 I can isolate the a. So this is gonna be 8 minus d. This is my number 3. This one I'm gonna substitute into the equation number 2. I'm using the substitution method. So this becomes 6 place of a become 8 minus d. 8 place of a become 8 minus d plus 15d is equal to 12. Further simplify, this become 48 minus 60 plus 15d is equal to 12. So the 12 minus 48 gonna be -36. Both sides you divide by 9. D become is equal to -4. Now I'm gonna put back into the equation number 3 to get the a value. So the a is gonna be equal to 8 minus 4. This become 12. Now I can calculate the sum of the first 20 terms because I got a and I got d, and obviously s20 n is gonna be equal to 20. So I'm gonna find the s20 now and use the sum formula. 20 over 2 big bracket 2 place of a we got 12 plus 20 minus 1 the d we got negative 4 and big bracket close. I use the calculator one time. The answer is negative 520. This is my final answer. Extremely important question. The sixth term of an arithmetic series is 32 and the sum of the first 9 terms is 234. Determine the first 3 terms and the nth term. I'll show you how to solve this question. So a plus n we got 6 minus 1 d we don't know is equal to 32. This is the nth term formula. So this is going to be a plus 5d is equal to 32. This is my equation number 1. This is the nth term formula. S9 is equal to 234. So therefore 9 over 2 n over 2 Sn formula I'm using. Big bracket 2a we don't know, d also we don't know, plus what we do have the n, 9 minus 1 d big bracket close is equal to 234. Now I'm going to solve. This become 9 over 2 and this become 2a plus 8d is equal to 234. Now we're going to multiply by 2 to get rid of the fraction. So this is going to be 9 bracket 2a plus 8d is equal to 234 multiplied 2. Answer is 468. Now this 9 must multiply inside. This become 18a plus 72d is equal to 468. So I can divide whole expression by 18. So the a, because a 72 also can divide by 18 and 468 as well. So this become plus 72 divided by 18 is 4d is equal to, this become 26. So this is my equation number 2. Now solve the simultaneous equation for a and d. So we're going to solve the simultaneous equation for a and d. So subtract 2 from equation number 1. So the 1 minus 2. So I cannot use the elimination method because the coefficient of a is 1, they are equal. Now, so the a plus 5d minus a 4d also become a negative 4d is equal to 32 minus 26. I'm going to simplify. This is cancelled. This only become d. 32 minus 26 is 6. So the d is 6. Now need to find the a. Substitute d is equal to 6 into equation number 2 or even 1. So to find the d. So the a plus 4d becomes 6 is equal to 26. This become a plus 24 is equal to 26. A become 26 minus 24. A become is equal to 2. Now we can determine the first 3 terms. Easy now. So we could have a which is equal to 2 and the d we got 6. So the first term will be a which is 2. Second term will be a plus d. So a we got 2 plus d is 6. That is going to be 8. Term 3 going to be a plus 2d. So the a we got 2 plus 2 multiplies 6. The answer is 14. There we got the 3 term. Now nth term easy also now. Nth term we can find because we got first term, second term, and third term. So the nth term formula is Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1d. So we're going to apply this formula now. So the Tn is equal to, first term we got 2 plus n minus 1, we need to find the nth term, and 8 minus 2 is going to be 6. Term 2 minus term 1 is 6. I further simplify 2 plus 6n minus 6, this is grade 10 work. I'm going to further simplify, this become, pull the question this side, therefore Tn going to be equal to 6n minus 4. So this is my final answer. This question, September 2024, last year question, is a mock exam question. An arithmetic series has a common difference of 3. The third and sixth terms of the series are respectively 3x negative 4 over 2 and negative 3x negative 10 over 2. First question, it says, show that the value of x is equal to negative 4. I'll show you how to solve this question. That's why I choose this question. What a nice question. Must remember term 3 is equal to this one and term 6 is equal to this one. So set up the equations for the third and the sixth term. Whenever they talk about the term, then we're using this formula. Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 d. If they talk about sum, then we use the Sn formula. Now the formula for the nth term of an arithmetic sequence is this one. And the given d3, d is equal to 3 is given. Remember, he said that d is equal to 3. The difference is 3. So the given d is equal to 3. The third term is, so the term 3 is going to be equal to A, we don't know, plus, and the n we got 3 now because the third term, minus 1, place of n we got put 3, substitute 3. So the d we got 3. And we're going to solve this one. This become A plus 6. And the sixth term, that's going to be A plus 6 minus 1. D is 3. That's going to be A plus 15. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So must remember from the problem description we have the term 3. So the term 3 we got A plus 6 now is equal to 3x negative 4 over 2. So this is my equation number 1. And the term 6 we got A plus 15 now is equal to negative 3x negative 10 over 2. This is my equation number 2. Now don't panic, this is very easy. Only we need to find these because the d is given. Must remember term 3 and term 6 we're gonna substitute into the nth term formula, and then we found A plus 6 and A plus 15. Now we're gonna solve for x here. Now I can see here this question is easy. I'm going to eliminate A. Why? Because the A coefficient is 1 equal. So subtract equation 1 from equation 2. So the 2 minus 1. So from 2 we're going to minus 1. So the A plus 15 minus A positive 6 become negative 6 is equal to negative 3x negative 10 over 2 minus 3x minus 4 over 2. We must minus this one. Now I'm gonna further simplify. This is cancelled, positive and negative. So the 15 and 6 will be only left with 9. So the 9 is equal to, so the 2 is LCD here, 2 is LCD, so we left on top negative 3x, negative 10, negative 3x, so the negative become positive 4. This negative must multiply inside. Now I can simplify here. 9 is equal to, this become negative 6x and negative 6 over 2. Now 9, negative 6 divided by 2 become negative 3x, negative 6 divided by 2 become negative 3. Now when you're going to solve for x here now, so the negative 3x, negative 3 I pull over this side become positive, so the both side we divide by negative 3, answer will be negative 4. So the x value is negative 4. Now the question say, hence calculate the first term of the series. This is easy question now. Substitute x equal to negative 4 into one of the term equation. You can, anyway you can substitute. I'm going to substitute here. So the a plus 6, remember we have equation number 1 is equal to 3x negative 4 over 2. So put the x value. So the a plus 6, x is negative 4 over 2. So I'm going to use my calculator. So this is going to be a plus 6. I simplify this side, is equal to negative 8. So therefore a is going to be equal to negative 6. Pull over this side become negative 6. The answer is negative 14. So the first term is negative 14. This is the last question, and this is level 4 question. He said determine the sum of the second set of 30 terms of this series. So identify the terms for the second set of 30 terms. Must remember, the second set of 30 terms refers to terms 31 to 60. So which means T31 to T60. So the sum of these series term is, so it's going to be S31 to 60 is equal to, from S60 total is 60 term minus the S30, right? Because he say determine the sum of the second set of 30 terms. So second set T31 to T60. So which mean from 31 to some formula you're gonna apply 31 to 60. So which mean sum of 60 you minus the 30, the first 30, then that will be the answer for the second 30. So which mean we need to first find the S60, then S30, then we minus S from S60 minus S30, that will be your answer. So use the sum formula for an arithmetic series, which is going to be Sn is equal to n over 2 bracket 2a plus parentheses n minus 1 d big bracket close. So much remember, we got a first term is negative 14 and the d we got given is 3. So now we're going to calculate the S60. Now we're going to substitute into the sum formula. 60 over 2 big bracket 2 multiply negative 14 first term plus n we got 60 now minus 1 and the d we got 3 close bracket. I'm going to use my calculator one time. The answer will be 4470. Now I'm going to find the S30. S30 I'm going to use the formula same, 30 over 2 big bracket 2 multiply negative 14 plus, and we got 30 minus 1 multiply 3. I'm gonna use the calculator one time. The answer is 885. Now we can calculate the sum of the second set of 30 terms. So S31 till 60, that will be from S60 total minus the S30 which we found now. So the 4470 minus 885. So the answer will be 3585. So this is my final answer. The sum of the second set of the 30 terms is 3585. Question 9, last question. The sum of n terms of a series is given by Sn is equal to n over 2 parentheses 8n minus 7. So he already calculate for you the sum formula. So the first question, determine the sixth term of the series. Now this type of question, when you need to find out, you must remember, very important, when you need to determine the terms from a sum formula, then we're gonna use this formula. Tn is equal to Sn minus Sn minus 1. Meaning is this one, say we need to find the now sixth term. So the sixth term we need to find. So which means you're going to S6 minus 6 minus 1, so S5. So which means you need to find now S6 and S5. And then from S6 you minus the S5, that will be the term 6. So this is very important. So the S6 is gonna be, so we're gonna put on this formula, because this is the Sn formula we have. 6 over 2, place of n you putting the 6 now, multiply 6 minus 7. The answer will be 123. Now I'm gonna solve S5. So the S5 is equal to 5 over 2. So the S5 is equal to 5 over 2, 8, multiply 5 minus 7, big bracket close. So I use my calculator. Answer is 82,5. Now I can calculate the T6. So the T6 will be S6 minus S5. So the S6 we have 123 minus 82,5. So the sixth term S6 minus S5, the answer will be 40,5. This is my final answer. Second question, he said, what is the sum of the 8th term and the 10th term? So again we need to calculate the first we calculate the 8th term, and then we're going to calculate the 10th term. So first the 8th term. So the T8 is going to be equal to S8 minus S7. So the T8 is equal to S8 gonna be, I'm gonna put place of n, I'm gonna put 8. I'm gonna put in the sum formula, so it become 8 over 2 bracket 8 multiply 8 minus 7 minus S7. Now put the 7 over 2, 8 multiply 7 minus 7, big bracket close. Now I'm gonna further simplify. This become 228 minus, this become 170,5. So the 8th term we have 56,5. Now we're gonna calculate the T10. So the T10 gonna be equal to S10 minus S9. You can separate calculate, then you can subtract, or you can do one time. T10 is gonna be equal to S10, place of n I'm gonna put 10 now. This become 10 over 2 big bracket 8 multiplied 10 minus 7 minus again S9 now, that will be 9 over 2 minus 7. So I use my calculator. This becomes 365 minus 292,5. So this give me 72,5. So this is my T10. So the T8 plus T10 gonna be equal to T8 we got 56,5 plus T10 we got 72,5. So my final answer is 129. The last question, what is the general term of the series? This is the explicit formula. Explicit means direct formula, sum formula. Now we need to find the general term. So which means I'm looking at Tn now. So that's gonna be Sn minus Sn minus 1. So therefore Sn we got n over 2 big bracket 8n minus 7 big bracket close minus place of n gonna be n minus 1 over 2 big bracket 8 place of n gonna be n minus 1 place of n gonna be n minus 1 negative 7. Now I'm gonna simplify. I can see the 1 over 2 is common. So the 1 over 2 common factor, and then we left with n multiply 8 n minus 7, and this side minus n minus 1 multiply, this is 8 must multiply inside become 8n minus 8 minus 7 close bracket. So I'm gonna further simplify 1 over 2 big bracket, this become 8n square minus 7n and negative n minus 1, and this become 8n minus 15 big bracket close. So I further simplify. I calculate here this negative, I multiply inside. So this is my final expression. Now I'm gonna simplify. So Tn is gonna be equal to 1 over 2 big bracket positive and negative cancel. So we got n. So we got, now is add up these two, 16n minus 15. So this is my final answer. Please like and subscribe. If you have any question, comment below. I will assist you. Have a nice day. Next video I will upload about geometric series concepts.